Have you ever wondered, why are there days when you feel in control, energized, creative, fully alive, and other days when, from the very moment you wake up, you feel sluggish, scattered, and the whole day just slips away in exhaustion? The difference isn't luck. It's not about what the world throws at you. It begins with something much simpler: how you start your morning. Because the morning isn't just the start of a day, it's the beginning of you. It sets the foundation for your thoughts, emotions, and actions in the hours ahead. And when you learn to own those first few minutes, you're not just mastering a day, you're learning to master your entire life. The one who begins their morning with intention is the one who rewrites their destiny. That's something Stoic philosophy, shaped by the minds of great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, has taught us for thousands of years. In this video, I'll share with you 7 morning habits supported by science and illuminated by Stoic wisdom, to help you start your day with clarity, calm, and inner strength. And if this sounds like the kind of journey you want to walk, a path of waking up to yourself each morning through discipline and insight, then don't forget to subscribe, because there are many more timeless lessons ahead. Not to turn you into someone else, but to help you become the wisest version of yourself. Number 1, wake up like a boss. If you want to know whether someone is truly leading their life, not just drifting through it, watch how they wake up in the morning. Many people hit snooze the moment their alarm rings. Once, twice, sometimes more. They start their day not with clarity, but with hesitation, with a negotiation against themselves, one where willpower quietly loses. But the real issue isn't whether you wake up early or late. The real question is, are you following through on the promises you made to yourself? Marcus Aurelius, both a Roman emperor and one of Stoicism's greatest minds, once wrote in his journal, "You weren't born to curl up under warm blankets. You were born to act." Waking up on time isn't about impressing anyone. It's about self-respect, about honoring your word to yourself. That's how inner strength is built, not all at once, but in the quiet repetition of small actions every morning. Science tells us that the moment we wake up, our body produces the highest level of cortisol, a natural hormone that helps us become alert and responsive. If you rise with it, you're in sync with your biology. But if you keep sleeping in, you go against that rhythm, and the fog that follows can last the rest of the morning. So treat waking up as a quiet ritual, a sacred cue that says, the dream is over, it's time to return to life. Not reactively, but intentionally. Maybe it's rinsing your face with cold water, or opening the window to let in the first light, drinking a glass of water, or just sitting up, breathing in deeply and telling yourself, I'm awake, I'm beginning. It's a small habit, but if you protect it, it becomes the foundation of something greater, your ability to lead yourself. And someone who can lead themselves each morning won't be easily pushed around by the chaos of the world. Number 2, start your day with silence. Modern life robs us of silence the moment we wake up. From the buzzing notifications, the flood of negative news, and social media drama, our minds get pulled into chaos before we even open our eyes fully. That's why, for the Stoics, the first discipline of the day isn't action, but rather the wisdom to not act hastily. Take the first few minutes of your day to just feel the moment. You don't have to meditate like a monk. Just sit up in silence. Feel your breath. Notice your heartbeat. Let the early light gently touch your face, and give your mind a quiet space before the world rushes in. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you that makes you suffer, but how you respond to it. And how you respond to life is largely shaped by your mental state in the morning." A mind that wakes up only to be hit by noise, headlines, and scattered alerts will struggle to stay calm. But a mind that pauses, breathes, and stays silent, even just for a few moments, will have the clarity to know what matters and what doesn't. Science calls this the transition buffer, that space between sleep and full alertness. If you spend it in silence instead of distraction, you'll enter the day not as a reaction, but with presence and intention. You can simply close your eyes and follow your breath for a minute or two, or sit with your back straight, hand over your heart, and ask, where is my mind right now? What is my body feeling? That's it. A few minutes of silence. No phone, no noise, no rush. And you start your day in awareness rather than reaction. And over time, you'll begin to see silence isn't empty. It's the foundation where everything else begins. Number 3, journal your thoughts. After a few minutes of silence, once your mind has settled, that's the perfect time to take the thoughts circling in your head and place them on paper. Morning journaling isn't about writing beautifully, it's about clearing your mind, about reflecting on your emotions, about seeing, with honesty, what's really going on inside you. You can start with something as simple as, how am I feeling right now? What matters most to me today? What do I want to happen? And what will I do to make it real? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote every morning, not for anyone else to read, but to remind himself of what truly matters: humility, responsibility, impermanence, and the discipline to live with kindness. Begin each day by reminding yourself, today you will meet rude people, ungrateful people, arrogant people. And that is not your problem. Your only task is to stay true to your own integrity. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, journaling is like listening to yourself in the most honest way, no filters, no right or wrong, just truth. And when you dare to face yourself each morning, you begin to build an inner strength no one else can touch. Science backs it up. Writing down your thoughts reduces stress, increases self-awareness, and improves emotional regulation. Just a few minutes each morning, even just a few sentences, can help you anchor your inner world before the outer world has a chance to pull you away. And maybe most importantly, your journal is the one place where you don't need to be strong, positive, or perfect. You just need to be real, clear, and unhidden. Number 4, body movement. Awaken your inner energy. Your body isn't a machine to control. It's the sacred space where your spirit lives, where emotions pass through, where thoughts form, where your will takes shape. And the morning is the perfect time to reconnect with yourself. You don't need to train like an athlete. Just wake your body with a few intentional movements. Run for 10 minutes. Stretch a little. Take deep breaths in the morning sunlight. Do whatever gets your blood flowing, your heart beating stronger, and your mind fully awake. The Stoics didn't talk much about exercise in the modern sense, but they spoke clearly about discipline, both physical and mental. Epictetus, born with a crippled body, yet one of the strongest Stoic minds, once said, "You can't grow without struggle. Body, soul, and mind all need to be trained." Morning movement is your first training of the day, not to chase the perfect physique, but to awaken the energy within you, the energy that may still be buried beneath yesterday's stress or the weight of a long night's sleep. Science has also shown that just 15 to 20 minutes of light movement in the morning can trigger dopamine and endorphins, the natural chemicals that lift your mood, sharpen your focus, and reduce stress throughout the day. But more than biology, Movement is a message, a signal to yourself that says, I'm ready to step into this day. Think of your body like a guitar. If you don't tune it in the morning, it'll play out of tune all day. But just a few gentle movements, a bit of purposeful motion, and you've already tuned the strings, ready to play the music of the life you truly want to live. Number 5, feeding your mind. Each morning when you wake up, your mind is like a garden, still covered in dew, quiet, soft, and ready to receive whatever seeds you choose to plant. The first seed you drop, no matter how small, quietly shapes the way you experience the entire day. If you start with negative news, social media drama, and a flood of messages, you're planting anxiety, comparison, restlessness, and distraction. But if you choose to read a few pages of a meaningful book, listen to an inspiring podcast, reflect on a powerful quote, or revisit your notes from something you've learned, then you're feeding your mind with value. The Stoics never let their minds drift aimlessly. They chose deliberately what they allowed in. They stood as gatekeepers of their own consciousness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Your mind will take the shape of what you continuously think, so paint it with thoughts that are noble and elevated." What you feed your brain in the morning matters just as much as what you feed your body for breakfast, because the mind, just like the body, only stays sharp when it's nourished the right way. You can read a book for 5 minutes, listen to a short inspirational podcast, or simply review notes from something meaningful you've learned. Neuroscience calls this an input primer. What you give your brain first thing in the morning sets the tone for your thoughts and emotions the rest of the day. So don't let social media be the first thing that enters your mind. Let wisdom, knowledge, and clarity go in first, because what you feed your mind in the morning quietly becomes who you are by nightfall.
Number 6, set daily intentions. Waking up without direction is like sailing a boat without a rudder. You'll still move, but you won't know where you're heading. Most of us wake up and immediately get swept into the momentum of life. We become busy, stressed, reactive. But we're not always sure what we're really aiming for. The Stoics were different. They didn't start their day in a blur. They made a conscious choice. How will I live today? And what's truly worth my focus? Marcus Aurelius began each morning by writing in his journal, "What virtues do I need to practice today? Am I acting as a rational and purposeful human being?" Living without a goal is like rowing with no direction. No matter how hard you try, you're still drifting. That's why you should take a few moments each morning to define what you want to create today. You don't need a 10-item to-do list. Just 1 to 3 key priorities. The things that, if completed, will leave you feeling focused, fulfilled, and regret-free by the end of the day. Ask yourself, what is the most important thing I need to get done today? Which action will move me closer to the version of myself I want to become? This isn't just about time management. It's about living with intention. Writing down your priorities each morning significantly boosts focus, reduces overwhelm, and increases your sense of satisfaction by day's end. But above all, when you know your purpose, distractions lose their power. You stop chasing everything and start moving meaningfully toward what truly matters. When you live each day with clarity, you're not just making it through another 24 hours. You're getting closer to the life you've consciously chosen. Number 7, practice gratitude. Once you've set your intentions for the day, there's one last habit, simple yet powerful enough to change the way you see the world. That is the practice of gratitude. When you start your day with gratitude, the world is no longer something you must fight to control. It becomes a gift, something to feel, to appreciate, to live fully. You stop rushing to take more because you realize You already have everything you truly need right now. And you don't need to be grateful for something grand. Start with the small things, the ones you often overlook each morning. The morning light streaming through your window, a warm meal or a quiet cup of tea, a simple gesture of care from someone you love. The Stoics didn't use poetic words to describe gratitude, but at the core of their philosophy was a deep understanding. Life owes us nothing. Every day we live, every challenge we face, is part of the inner training. And it's at the very moment you choose to see life with appreciation, even when it's imperfect, that gratitude and stoicism become one. You're no longer grateful because life is easy. You're grateful because life is helping you grow. Facing difficulty? It's a chance to practice patience. Someone annoys you? A test of your composure? Plans fall apart? A lesson in letting go, adapting, and beginning again. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you that makes you suffer, but how you respond to it. You can end your morning with a small act. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, or simply place your hand on your chest, breathe deeply, and whisper, "I'm still here." And that's enough to begin. When you choose to view life through the lens of gratitude, the world doesn't magically become easier, but you become stronger, calmer, and more grounded. And that's a powerful way to begin any day. 7 habits. It might sound like a lot, but really, it all begins with one question. Will you give yourself just a few minutes each morning to come back to yourself? Not to be perfect, not to conquer the world, but simply to begin your day with intention. Because the way you start your day slowly becomes the way you live your life. You don't need to practice all 7 habits tomorrow. Just choose the one that speaks to you and start there. Maybe it's journaling for a few minutes, or simply pausing for 10 quiet seconds to be thankful you're still here. And with each morning like that, you'll become a little more awake, a little more at peace, a little more grounded. And one day, you'll realize you didn't have to change the world. You just had to start your day the right way. If this video touched something in you, if it made you want to wake up tomorrow with a new mindset, more grounded, more clear, don't hesitate to leave a comment, share your thoughts, or send this video to someone who might need it. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next journey that's waiting for you.